being Will Smith is probably one of the best people in the world, person in the world you could want to be up until 2 weeks ago.
Shad Ellis, who I found on Instagram. Actually, I heard there was a media story. I heard about this guy who's like, he looks just like Will Smith, and he's been doing this as a career for decades. And I thought, well, I want to talk to that guy because this is a very interesting time in your life, right?
It's been over 25 years now.
How did it start? Did somebody start telling you? Did people just come up and like, do you know you look like Will Smith? Or was this something you just looked in the mirror and like, wait a minute, I'm starting to look like Will Smith here?
No, it was basically the peer pressure. I was receiving, I don't know, in the height of Will's career in 99, when he kind of burst on the scene, I was getting on average 20 to 30 comments a day. And then eventually I got to the stage where it was like, well, if so many people are making a comment, then there must be a way I can make something from doing this. And then it was a stranger that basically knew someone that was a lookalike and said, look, you can make money from doing this. You need to do this, which was look in the back of this newspaper called The Stage, and there's lookalike agencies there, and send your pictures to them. And literally it just kind of just snowballed from then. But we're talking in a period when there was no internet, there was no social media. So it was all like telephone directories, teletext, newspapers, and the internet was fairly new. Yeah. So I had to buy this newspaper, which only came out on a Thursday. And in the back of this paper, The Stage, they had these, there were these lookalike agencies. There were like 2 or 3 in there. I sent my pictures to one of them, and then literally within 2 weeks, I got a response saying, yeah, you do look like Will Smith. I don't expect to make money from this. Just see it as a little sideline. And just continue doing what you're doing. And then a week later, I had my first job, which was a front cover of a magazine. It was an electrical magazine, and it was the iconic Men in Black pose. So we both had these wind-up torches, and so it was me and a Tommy Lee Jones lookalike. We did this sort of the iconic Men in Black pose with these electronic wind-up torches, and then from there it just kind of went from strength to strength.
If you need a Will Smith, this is your man. That's what happened. And so 25, like flash forward a couple decades, and you're still doing it. Now, do you feel pressure to maintain whatever Will is doing? Like a couple of years ago during the pandemic, he decided, I'm going to get fit. I got a little pooch here. I'm going to get fit. And did you hear that news and you roll your eyes like, oh man, I got to hit the gym?
You know what? Sometimes, I mean, over the years, for different characters and different roles in these movies, he's kind of gone up and gone down. So I've had to almost follow some of them. But then for me, naturally, we're quite similar. We're the same height. We have been the same weight at certain periods. But when he did the whole best shape of my life, he went down to 200 pounds. So at that stage, this is post-COVID, I was 235 pounds. And I'm thinking, I need to lose 35 pounds to get to, if I want to be, as similar as I can be.
Yeah.
And a funny story is I actually had the opportunity to work with him and body double for him this year. It was in March. I can't say where it was or what it was, but I had to fly to the country and I was going to be his official body double stand-in. And in my head, I'm thinking, I've just watched this documentary. I'm like 35 pounds heavier. I need to lose this weight. So I went on this whole trying to lose the weight thing, but then it wasn't easy. But then I kind of thought, well, I'm only a stand-in, so I don't need to be 100% the same. And then I went over there, and then when I tried on the clothes that he had to wear, I was kind of almost, bursting out of it. But unfortunately, he didn't come out. He had to reschedule anyway, so he didn't end up flying out for that shoot. So I was a bit upset.
Yeah, disappointed. Have you not met him yet? Is it not something that's happened?
I've not met him yet, no. And so basically, I flew back, say, on the Wednesday, because they cut the shoot early, and then he flew out the week later.
Yeah.
So he's then posted on his Insta, being where I was, and I'm just like, man, I was there like a week ago, and
but you did the work. You're officially now his stand-in.
Yeah, I mean, I literally did one day. I was supposed to do like 3 or 4 days, but we just did one day, and so you kind of they use me for like doing the drone shots and over the shoulder kind of stuff and distance kind of stuff.
What do you call yourself? A lookalike, impersonator? Because you don't impersonate Will Smith, right? You look like Will Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
well, I mean, it's weird because I mean, I know in America, in the US, they use the word impersonator, whereas around Europe and the UK, we use lookalikes.
Yeah.
But then you get tribute artists, which are obviously singers that do, which is what I do as well. So you get tribute artists that don't look as much like someone but sound like them, and they do, you know, they do the songs and performances. Where I'm kind of the all-in package. I have the similarities, and I do the live shows.
Do you rap as well?
Yeah.
Didn't even know that. That's cool. That's very cool. So do you only like perform as Will, or do you also, have you like tried to hone the American Will Smith accent, delivery, or is it just the performance of the rapping?
No, I had to hone the whole everything.
Oh man.
I think when I started, you know, I was probably 19 years old, 18, 19. So my perception of American accent was just, hey man, yeah man, hey man. So what I had to do was, over the years, I watched his films, and I watched his mannerisms, his movements, his body movements, the way his expressions were, and I had to try and learn those. So I find myself naturally doing what I do now. But in order to do Will, I think it's the whole, you know, the mouth goes, man, you know, crazy, like, and little hand movements, and the voice comes down here, and you know, the mad thing about it, and that's what I'm saying. So I kind of honed it over the years.
That's good. That's good. You should do this for a job. That's real good.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's I have to watch every movie, and I have every movie on DVD.
Were you watching the Oscars?
No. So the crazy thing was, I was actually going to a track day, because I'm into motorbikes and stuff. So I was doing a motorbike track day, and so it was about 5 o'clock in the morning. I woke up to set off on this trip, and my girlfriend was like, "Oh, apparently Will Smith's just slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars," and I was like, "Huh? What are you talking about?" And then I looked at my phone, and someone had sent me a message on Insta. So I looked at that, and I saw it, and I looked at it like, wow, like that can't be real. That doesn't look like it's real. No, it can't be happening. And then I just left it and went about my day. But the craziest thing was that I went about my day, but my phone didn't stop blowing up, because obviously 5 a.m. UK time was, the world was starting to wake up.
Yeah.
And then I was getting messages upon messages, but it was like, why did you do it, bro? Why did you slap Chris? Why did you do it, bro? And this went on for the whole day, and I'm sitting there thinking like, man, it got to the stage where I had to put a status on my WhatsApp that said, I am not Will Smith.
Wow.
And I'm talking about my social medias were kind of popping off with, bro, why you do it? Why did you go and slap Chris? Da-da-da-da-da. You need to get a Chris Rock lookalike, and da-da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da-da. And it just went on and on to the point I'm just like, okay, guys, I've seen it. Everybody's seen it. The world knows about it. It's cool. But, you know, but then being and doing what I do for so many years, everybody relates to me as Will Smith anyway. So when he drops a movie, they will mention how good it was to me or how bad it was. When anything happens in his life, they're gonna talk to me as if I'm him. Like, why did you let your wife do that to you? Why did you let Jada do? And I'm just like, come on, man. Come on, guys. I'm not him, you know.
They know you follow, obviously, everything about your career kind of follows his career. So, oh man, I'd like to think that people aren't that jaded to think that you had any involvement in it. But just for the record, why did you slap Chris Rock? Why'd you do that? Shad, why'd you do it?
I mean, I'll tell you the craziest thing about it is, and this is what's sad about society, is that everybody sees things like that as a joke. And the day after it happened, I was inundated with messages and requests for some of the weirdest and craziest jobs. I had this big influencer, I won't name him, on Instagram, had like 29 million followers. And he wanted to fly me to LA the next day to film a video as Will Smith. Now, I know that he just wanted to, you know, do a parody or reenact it and, you know, make fun of it. And then I'm also on Cameo, which is like a video messaging service.
Yeah.
Where I do birthday shout outs and stuff. So I started getting cameos popping off. But one of them was like, oh, could you do an apology as if you're Will Smith apologizing to Chris Rock? And I'm like, why? Decline. Then I had the next one like, oh, could you say happy birthday to this guy? And if he doesn't, whatever, I'm going to slap something out of him. I'm like, decline. And then I'm getting, one of the funniest ones was this guy wanted me to appear at his daughter's wedding. And he wanted me to basically slap the best man after he did his speech. And I'm just sitting there like, seriously, people? Seriously? I mean, as funny as it sounded, like, get my daughter's name out your...
Yeah, of course. Wow.
But so that's just how crazy the world is, man. It's nuts.
And I guarantee you're out on the street and people are saying like, oh, pretend to slap me. Could you pretend to slap me? Yeah. And that's a hard no. That's a hard no, right?
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, it's always done in jest.
Yeah.
But even, when I went to work, because I'm a train driver also. So my colleagues at work, if I walk past them, they'd be like, "Oh, don't slap me. And I'm like,
that might be funny, bro? Like the first time that might be funny.
But when 100, 150 now, like, come on, I've heard it. And I have to smile with it at the same time because, if I then turn around and slap someone for saying that, then that could make a story in itself.
That's true. That's your key, dude. You're missing out.
I said to one guy at work, I said, look, if you continue, I'll slap you and I'll make you famous.
Oh my God. Will Smith impersonator slaps me.
Exactly. You can see the headlines. You can see the headlines already. That's how crazy it is.
Oh man. So is business, I mean, okay, so business is kind of up since that, but business is weird and you got to be selective with what you're doing now, right?
100%.
So
I mean,
I
have the utmost respect for Will Smith and his family. So having almost given 25 years of my life to being him, and also I didn't want to spoil any vibe or energy for when if I finally get to meet him. So
it'll be a win. That's right. Because I mean, you're right. I love that attitude. This is a man who has unwittingly to him has given you a career that you have taken. Right. I mean, you have earned this career. Don't make no mistake. He didn't give you anything. You picked this ball up and you have run with it. I mean, obviously you've had a lot of things that have, you've had to go over these obstacles, as we all do, to get where you are. And I think that's pretty amazing that you're not willing to breach sort of that trust that you don't even have. It's sort of it's a very non-spoken agreement between you and Will Smith that you're not gonna make him look bad, because if you make him look bad, you might profit in the here and now, but in the long run,
it's funny. I mean, like I said, this whole job has taken me places I would never have imagined in my life. Like I've done things that only some of us can dream of. I've been flown around the world, first class, limousines, top hotels and restaurants, and I'm almost like, damn, and it's weird because I've also always had a day job too. So one day I'm being treated like a star, limousines, first class, caviar, a lot. The next day I'm selling tickets on the underground or I'm driving a train.
You're driving a train. That's just amazing to me.
Yeah. So, but it's a nice balance because it kind of keeps me grounded at the same time.
Yeah.
And not too absorbed, because what you do find, there are some impersonators or lookalikes that live the person they're impersonating. And with me, for me, I see me. Like when I look at me, I see myself. There's people that will watch this or, see me and be like, you look nothing like Will Smith. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And then there are people that will, on the other side, will watch me and see me and be like, oh my God, you're like the spitting image of Will Smith. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Because either way, I'm just here, I'm just doing what I'm doing, but I am, bottom line, I'm me, so it's just amazing. It's an amazing job, but being Will Smith is probably one of the best people in the world, person in the world you could want to be up until 2 weeks ago. Up until 2 weeks ago.
I feel like being Will Smith for you sometimes is way better than being Will Smith for him, because he has to live up to everything, and you aspire to live up to everything, or at least you can turn it off if you want to. You can. Have you ever made accidental tabloid news? Like, have you ever been somewhere and then saw that somebody said, "Oh, Will Smith was here," and he's like, "Wait, no, that wasn't Will Smith. That was me."
Not so much that, but the flip side of it is, I did a gig years ago in a place called Worcester, up in the UK, and this client wanted me to come to his nightclub, hang out in VIP, and just take pictures with people and so on and so forth. So I'm like, cool. He's like, oh, could you get some friends to pretend to be bodyguards? I said, yeah, no problem. It's all part and parcel of the game. So I'm now heading towards this venue with a couple of my friends being bodyguards, and I get a call saying that it's trending on Twitter that Will's in Worcester. I'm like, huh? What do you mean he's in Worcester? And I messaged this guy and I said to him, like, dude, I said you need to make it clear I am not Will Smith. And he's like, no, it's fine, it's cool, don't worry, I haven't said that. So he's putting out these little posters saying, the Men in Black's gonna be here tonight, so-and-so's gonna be here tonight, blah, 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 blah. I get to this venue and they're expecting Will Smith. So I walk out on the stage and there's like a million, well, not a million, maybe like a few hundred camera phones just all up on the screen going, oh my God, Will.
Oh my gosh.
After about a minute, the atmosphere changed and I could feel that there was a little tension in the air, right? And I'm like, man, we need to get off the stage. Suddenly this glass appears from nowhere and it just literally lands on the floor next to me. And I'm like, bro, we need to get off the stage. And then we got off the stage and went upstairs in VIP, and then we, ran out the building. And this guy was happy because it had the effect he wanted.
Yeah.
But for me, it was a dangerous situation because it's not something that I condone. I always make it clear, do not put down I am Will Smith. Always state I'm a lookalike or an impersonator, because people are going to be upset when they realize it's not, So yeah, it was scary, but then I had the tabloids contacting me the next day. Were you in Worcester? I was like, no, it weren't me. Yeah, boy.
Very cool. His name is Shad Ellis, ShadEllis. You can find him on Instagram. He even answers DMs. The Will Smith impersonator, lookalike, however you want to define yourself. How do they find you?
You can catch me by Instagram at Will Smith Double, which is on all social medias at Will Smith Double, or via the website willsmithlookalike.com.
If you're in Dubai, look us up. Please come into the studio. We'd love to have you.
100%.
Is that cool?
100%.